Okay. And just to let our viewers know, yeah, this is Watertown, video of Watertown. And look, this is the scene Adam was describing for us. Adam, we're seeing what you saw earlier.
Okay, yeah, I'm at Lloyd Street. I guess I would be on the eastern edge of this crime scene, and I can't get much closer. I can just walk you through what happened when we arrived, especially for people just tuning in, and my apologies for reiterating what may have already been said, but when we arrived here, we heard weapon shots come to the car, and I was on the air with you then frantically, and I apologize for that. And then moments later, my photographer had noticed that the police started running to the street just to the right of us, which my mind is blanking right now. I'm sorry, I can't remember the street that's up there, but that's where about 10 officers drew their guns, and they were pushed back, and then they took cover behind their own cars. That's when I started running. And I have not heard in the last any more perimeter, which our news vehicle happens to be right in the middle of, not intentionally because we happen to be here with and before many of the officers. Again, if there's any solace in this right now, it's that there seems to be a lot of silence. A lot of people have gathered. There doesn't seem to be the frantic nature that we had before. I think the most startling thing for me, other than seeing the police with their guns drawn, obviously aimed at a suspect, was that they didn't fire. They were pushed back themselves. That's when I went running, and a firefighter, an emergency responder, said something about get back, run, there's a hand grenade. That hasn't been confirmed, obviously. That's what I heard, and obviously I ran back, and I'm back, I think, a block or two at Lloyd Street, where the rest of reporters and photographers and I would assume residents who have gathered out here to watch and see what's going on. Again, in front of me is this armored car that just went through. It didn't go all the way through the crime scene. It stopped just on the other side of the yellow tape, and next to it is an ambulance with its back doors open. But I haven't witnessed any movement of paramedics, and I certainly haven't witnessed any patients going into the ambulance.
Adam, I don't know, we are getting a look at what Neil shot, and he got up there with police, and I'm surprised he was able to get access this far. However, he was getting very close up there as we are seeing police officers, and this is on video, this is not live, but ducking in and out, guns drawn, looking in alleys, looking between cars, and basically just canvassing the street. I don't think you were you with him at this point, or were you talking with us, you know, at another location?
We were both at our news vehicle. We heard these shots fired, and we knew there was imminent danger. We could smell what smelled to me like gunpowder or burning rubber, or possibly even an electrical smell. And then all of a sudden, my photographer, camera in hand, said, look, and 10 feet in front of us is where we saw all these officers with their guns drawn. That's when Neil, my photographer, said, get down, and I got down behind the car door, behind the car, and he got down, I believe, behind a police car. It was a matter of just getting down as quickly as you could at the nearest possible place. So he was about 10 feet in front of me, and then I believe that when they told us to get back even further, when I heard something of a hand grenade, he must have followed me, but that's when I lost him for a short while. But he and everyone else has been moved back now on the other side of this yellow tape. I don't know what he was able to shoot video-wise, but I think he was rolling right up until that moment where we were basically fearing for our lives. And never in my reporting career have I felt so vulnerable.
Well, we are glad you're safe, Adam, and you did the right thing by trying to find cover. We're being told that in this video we're watching here, at some point we might see the suspected gunman. Right here, I guess.
Okay.
Does he have
His eyes seem to be closed. His arms are spread.
Spread
out.
out.
His stomach.
He's on his stomach, on the ground, but that is the point where they were backing up. And it's interesting that they are backing up, Adam, and perhaps that he was threatening that he had some sort of a weapon on him. His hand, there doesn't appear to be anything in his hands.
Nothing?
No, doesn't appear to be anything in his hand.
This is unbelievable.
And this again happening just moments ago. Adam, are you still with us?
I'm still with you at one
right.
point, and again, this is just what I heard from police. I
Right,
can't go on the
right.
record.
No.
We're watching the guy
We're
laying
watching.
on the
He's
ground,
laying on the
legs
ground.
crossed, some jogging pants with a stripe up along the side, brown hair, white
What
male, jacket, arms spread. And so, you know, it's like if they're not going right after him right now in this video, then you think he's talking about that he's got a device strapped to his body or something.
It's very possible that he's...
well, and it's also possible, yeah.
Is Neil there with you? Can he get on the phone by any chance?
What's that?
Is Neil
you want me to
there
get
with
Neil
you?
on the phone?
If he's able to, I don't know what's happening right there right now.
Yeah, let me try to find Neil right now.
Okay, and we should clarify that while that man appears to be a suspect, or at least somebody that has police concerned enough to stop him and get him down on his stomach, we haven't confirmed that as a suspect, and we have interest.
And they got the spotlight on him right there, and wow, this is great.
It's traumatic.
This is a great perspective on what police deal with and the situations that they deal with, and
walking down
very
these
tense
alleys
situations.
and, I mean, it's just,
but there they are backing up. This is that video. This is what they're telling them, I think, backing up. So this is at that. I think at that point when we were talking to Adam, and he was saying we got to back up and back up. Then that's precisely
Adam
what.
Harding there.
Precisely.
You guys. Okay, I'm here at the live truck. I'll connect with you on TV. Okay, I'll be with you in a couple minutes.
All right, thank you, Adam. Thank you. All right, that's Adam Williams. We'll get a live picture of Adam here momentarily.
Too, have we heard any gunshots since Neil shot this? Any kind of explosion or anything?
I don't think so. I thought at that point that they Adam had said that there were no more explosions and no more gunfire. Now, folks, keep in mind we've been on the air here now for well over 2 hours on this. What started out as a fatal shooting of an MIT police officer on the campus of MIT, we believe this is connected to that. We're not 100% sure. It would be odd and coincidental that this is a completely different scenario. But what Adam had mentioned is that there were two gas stations robbed, and that possibly this was a suspect or a suspected robber, or maybe more than one. And all right, we got Adam now. We're going to see him in the flesh here. Adam, you joining us live now?
Yeah,
okay.
I want to show you where I am right now. Again, this is the eastern edge of the crime scene, and I was talking to you a while ago just on the other side of these restaurants. Ted, why don't you zoom in up here where you see the flashing lights there, and probably a block on the other side of that yellow tape is where we pulled up and where we witnessed firsthand what was going on. You guys had asked about Neil. Can you get off the phone real quick? I have Neil Armstrong, our photographer, with us, and Neil, come over here. And the video that you shot, we've been playing it. We were right there. We were 5 or 10 feet. Walk me through what we experienced, because we were so rattled during it all.
It's just something I've never experienced in my news career, is pulling up on the scene and hearing multiple gunshots fired. First instinct was to take cover. The second instinct was to try to get some pictures of what was happening. It was just chaotic. There was police, state police, local police everywhere, and I was trying to duck behind cover. The cops were saying, get cover, get down, get back, and I was just moving along the side of the street trying to stay safe but try to get some shots.
What had happened was we had pulled up on the scene here. We had 5 or 6, maybe 10 police officers, and it came to a point where our news vehicle was trapped between a whole mess of police cruisers on either side. We couldn't leave even if we wanted to. So our instinct as journalists was to, I was on the phone with you guys. Neil was with his camera, and you got right around the edge of that building, and your video shows a suspect. What did you see?
We were just standing there, and it seemed like there was a lull in the action. There was nobody really running, and then all of a sudden guns were drawn and pointed at the suspect that was about 7 feet from our car. He was lying down, face down on the ground in a kind of, non-resistant, some sort of an explosive device.
And I wasn't hear this person make any threats or say that he had weapons that he didn't have. where you were?
No, he was just on the ground quiet. He was just on the ground quiet, lying there, and wasn't saying anything.
But it was police officers. That's when I saw the police officers, you know, I don't know, a dozen at least with their guns drawn, and they were backing up, which made us fear that this person was either armed or...
Yeah, right, yeah, no, we didn't know what to think, and what other... We heard possible explosions on the radio earlier, and there was some smoke down the side street when this was all happening, so we didn't really know what was transpiring at the, you know, what he was going to do, what happened, and what he was capable of.
All right. Well, I can tell you that you know, in my career, I was saying earlier, one of the most vulnerable positions I've ever been in.
Absolutely. The cops flanked the left side of the street, and I was running up the right side, but I didn't really have too much cover, so I was kind of ducking in between people's steps and stairs and just trying to stay safe, but get the shot. And
I was reporting on the phone when we got here that I could smell something in the air, and to me it smelled either like a gunpowder substance or like burning rubber or electrical. Did you notice this, and how do you describe it?
Yeah, we went up one of the side streets off of Mount Auburn here, and there was some sort of haze in the air, some sort of smoke, and you could, like, but
that was, we don't firing, you know, sometimes they have these empty shells that they fire or gas that they put out. I think, I don't know. This is something we'll work on confirming, whether police discharged that or whether it was somebody else, but we certainly heard that. Where's Chris Lambert telling everybody?
The other side of the scene. I had been following this whole thing, watching you guys on the news and on Twitter, following the situation in Cambridge, and there were reports on Twitter that everything was heading toward Watertown. At that point, I just turned the TV down to take a look outside because we are on Mount Auburn, which is the main road, and I could hear gunfire off in the distance. Now, it didn't at first sound like it was in that same location. It sounded like it was in a different spot than where that whole scene unfolded. Then it subsided. Heard more shots, and almost immediately you could see the cops following.
Hang on one second, Chris. Let's look at what's going on here. We have some movement with police, and we have an ambulance pulling out. This ambulance was a ways back. I'll try to get a look in as it passes by. I'm not sure if there is a patient in there, but this is, you can see the police making way for this ambulance, which is stationary at the moment. The crime area is still cordoned off, so it's not like they've finished or probably even begun processing the scene here, but here's this one ambulance, and I'll try to get a glimpse in. We've got a Cambridge police car and an Everett police seeming to make way for the ambulance. Try to get a look at inside.
We just lost that shot. That is bad timing, unfortunately. We'll try to get that back up momentarily, and obviously when Adam finds out for us, he'll let us know. He'll let us know what's going on. But anyway, this is moments ago, folks. I believe this is exclusive video you are going to see only here on 7 News. This is the what we do not believe. We don't know who it is, but it's someone.
Somebody that they have guns drawn pointed at, who's on the street there in Watertown. And
but we're not sure what his connection is to really anything going on here until obviously police confirm it. I guess we also have Dan Housley, who has made his way to Watertown and is also somewhere near the scene. And Dan, you're joining us live as well with what you can see and so far.
Yeah, we just heard another explosion down the street here. Police are moving us further back.
Move right back, please.
You can hear they at one point indicated they were going to move out here. They wanted the road open, and just as they moved us back in the distance here, once again we can hear another explosion, but they did not appear to be reacting to this with alarm themselves. I do see what appears to be a bomb disposal vehicle there in the distance. Police are very strongly telling us to get back, moving in another SUV coming by us now. A lot of the more yellow tape, and the activity indicating that they're trying to keep this road open to take something out of here. This is right where that ambulance came out as well, but we couldn't tell whether there was someone in there, and they weren't acting as if that was the key vehicle.
And Dan, I'm sorry,
yes,
Dan.
Go ahead.
Dan, so do I get the sense that maybe this is a controlled explosion, intentionally set off by bomb units there? Is that perhaps what we're led to believe?
I think that's a good suggestion. We see FBI and diplomatic corps U.S. agent coming in there now. I would say the way the law enforcement reacted without alarm to it, another FBI agent coming in here. We're seeing FBI in the back of their coats. They're being ushered to the front there. And they're moving us back again. They're moving us back again. But it does appear that they're trying to get control of this situation.
I have no idea. I'm trying to move media back. That's not cooperating. I just need you to move, please.
All right, well, Dan, we'll check.
That's your cue.
Yeah, that's your cue, Dan. We'll check back with you.
That doesn't cooperate.
We'll check back with you later.
You know, we should kind of just back up just a teeny bit here as we look at these live pictures of Watertown and try to make sense of what's happening. We have our photographer, Neil Armstrong, who got the pictures of a man lying right in the street with the police officers, all guns drawn, pointed at him, but not moving toward him. We've heard gunfire and explosions, and all of this is coming after an MIT who was shot at General Hospital. A lot of searching going on at the MGHT station, the Red Line station, along the Charles River, the Longfellow Bridge, using every possible resource, and we're seeing FBI agents here too.
And there's
and here's Adam Williams back on the scene. Adam, were you able to determine if there was anybody in the ambulance? What more can you tell us?
This ambulance that left, no, I didn't see a patient, and although some witnesses on the scene had said that they saw an ambulance leave well before my bomb squad, just as far as that sound that we have heard, we have to be responsible in how we tell you about this, and I can't confirm. There are a lot of reports out there, but I can only tell you what I heard, and it was a loud boom, and I think you heard it when you were speaking with Dan Housley, and he heard it too. Not sure what it was, but after that happened, they again pushed us back even further. Not sure if that was something that police detonated, that they made a device that they wanted to deal with. Once again, you can see police here pushing us back even further. We're going to be careful here. Watch these cables, guys. Try to stay on the air with you, and we can only go about right here, but we'll see how far we're pushed back. Obviously, the minute you think that things are beginning to calm here, when you hear more, you hear a bang or you see activity. Go ahead, Reed.
Adam, Dan had mentioned the same thing. Dan Housley, we just talked with Dan. He mentioned the same thing. Are you getting a sense that these are controlled explosions?
You know what? I would hope they are, because we haven't heard multiple rounds of anything here. I can't. All I can tell you is what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing. And once again, we're moved back. Now we're about 3 blocks from the scene of this crime. Moving back this way, and I'm not sure what that means. The obvious would state that where we are now, the closer we are, the more danger we could potentially be in, or that they worry about us being in right here. So we'll hang over here next to the...
Okay.
Yeah.
Then what is your look? Where are you right now? Can you give us a cross? I'm just trying to... I got a map up here. I'm just trying to reference where you guys are located.
Yeah, it's Irma Road and Mount Auburn.
Oh, wow. They really did. Yeah, they put you back several blocks. Now, was the original scene on Upland where we saw the video where Neil got that video of that guy on the ground?
What street was he laying
that
down?
on Upland Road, or was that on Hillside?
That was on Upland, with Mount Auburn being the cross street.
Okay.
And I think that the hills... okay. All right. Unfortunately, you see, we're going to have to move back. We're going to try to maybe get a cable out there and reconnect with you, but we got to follow the police's orders here. I'll touch base with you on the phone if I have to in between.
All right, Adam, thank you. Wow.
Yeah, I'd
Quite
like
the
to
chaos,
know. I mean, obviously, right now he's having to help authorities do what they need to do, but we had this exclusive video, guns drawn on a man lying on, now you have determined was Upland, right there on the corner. Really curious to ask whether you saw what became of that man.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess we'll find out here soon. Let's kind of recap for you folks as you're looking at this video. This is video in Watertown. We're going to hit the reset button and try to get everything in order. At about 10:50 tonight, an MIT police officer was disturbed on campus and killed. Launching a massive investigation and a massive search for the gunman or gunmen involved.
They had a huge police presence from the start.
Monster police presence. And then keep in mind what happened the other day at the marathon. You've got an extra police, so clearly there are extra personnel here on hand to help out. So that happened at about 10:50. Fast forward now I don't know, what, about 45 minutes ago, Kim?
Yeah.
About 1 o'clock, maybe
sudden,
an hour ago, all of a sudden we heard reports of gunfire and explosions in Watertown. And then Adam Williams gets on the phone with us. He was in fire and heard the gunfire, could smell the bullet, the gunpowder, or what appeared to maybe be rubber, or maybe some sort of explosive, and was backing up from the scene and was doing his best to, well, initially stay safe. But his photographer, 7 News photographer Neil Ernstrom, was able to get some absolutely spectacular video of what police were approaching, and we don't know if, in fact, the person who we have on the ground, lying on the ground with guns drawn on him, is connected to the MIT shooting. We don't know that.
Shooting, had gun reports of them getting onto trains and asking people if they saw anybody with a weapon or anybody suspicious. They were also over the Charles River, and they were using canine and shrubs along the shore, and also overhead looking in the water. Adam was over there by the man. No,
he said that they was the person in there. I'm not sure. You know what we're.